on, y'all? It's DG back with another video. And today, finally going to give y'all my in-depth performance review on these bad boys right here, the Nike KD17 in the Sunrise colorway. So let's get right into it. So if you did not watch my first impressions review video, I did upload that last week. The purpose of this video is to go in depth on all of the performance features. So let's get right into it. Starting with the traction, guys. The traction is my favorite thing about this shoe, to be very brief. This traction I like better than the 16. Grooves are much more thick and they're much more firm in my opinion than the 16. These grip the floor very well, even on dusty settings. So my first time playing in these, when I did that first review video, I played on a very dusty floor. It's one of the main floors that I play on, and the grip was actually very good on that floor. And I did say this in my first impressions video, but the way that I kind of assess traction is, if a shoe can perform well on a dusty floor, what do you guys think it can do on a clean or average or normal floor, right? So the fact that this shoe performed well on a very dusty floor shows me and tells me that it will perform even better and will be elite on an average or clean floor. So traction, in my opinion, is very good. After, that first session, I purposefully did not wipe just to show you guys how much dust it picked up. But best believe the traction was still good. I cleaned it after, went to a normal gym, went to, I think, 2 different gyms. Yeah, 2 different gyms in total after that one. So 3 different gyms, I guess, in total for this review. But like, the traction is very good. It squeaks really loud. The grip is great. It's formerly called the topographical map pattern. That's what Nike's calling it, similar to the KD15. But overall, what you need to know is that this traction will work well. Cushion. So the cushion to me feels very similar to the KD16. I don't really have much to say after that. So the traction is great, but the cushion is responsive, it's comfortable, it's low to the ground. I will say again that there is not a lot of bounce in this shoe, in my personal opinion. It's not the bounciest shoe in the world. I would say like a great guard shoe for bounce is the Kobe 6 Protro, but these, I don't really feel bouncy. This is very, stable cushion, right? This is like a stable type of shoe that accommodates all play styles, all, types of positions. So that's what I would say about the cushion. It's comfortable, low to the ground. There is nothing extreme about the cushion where I'm just like, oh wow, this is super bouncy, or oh wow, this is super comfortable. It's very safe in my opinion. And I would say it just feels very similar to the KD16. I would say that I do prefer full length Air Zoom Strobel, full length Zoom even not Strobel, right? Like I would just want full length Zoom, but I guess that, they're not doing that for the KDs anymore. But overall, I can't necessarily complain about the cushion setup. There is impact protection. There is a ton of responsiveness as well. And paired with that traction, this is a top performer. Honestly, it is. But there are some downsides. The fit of these is definitely long, guys. It's definitely long because it has more volume in the forefoot, not only width-wise, but also length-wise. The fit is not extraordinarily long. It's just a tad bit long, to the point where I was just like, okay, these do not fit the same as the 16 or even the 15. I said this before, but the 15 and the 16 had to be made on the same exact glass because they fit me the same. My toe is practically at the edge. For these, there is, a thumb's width, or I would say a half thumb's width space for sure in this shoe. So in the same exact size, right? I get the same size in every KD. So these are definitely a tad bit long. Now, there are some positives to this as well, right? Because if you are a wide footer like myself, I actually felt a little bit more free in this shoe. My foot felt less cramped. You can view that as a positive or negative, but I would say it's a positive for wide footers specifically, right? So me putting my foot into this shoe felt very just like good, right? There's no constraints, there's no hot spots. Like, it just felt a little bit comfortable, especially if you're a wide footer. So go true to size if you're a wide footer. Wouldn't recommend going down half a size unless you're a narrow footer, or if you're a normal footer who likes snug fits, then yeah, go down half a size. But I would say true to size fits well for most people. You just have to get used to the length a little bit. But if you're a narrow footer, go down half a size. Would never recommend to go half size up in these. The other tricky thing about this shoe is the lockdown. The lockdown isn't the best in my personal opinion, and I'm not sure if it's due to this tongue, because the tongue is very thick and it's also very big. I didn't feel the lace pressure that much. You really have to tie down these laces. I saw a picture of the Nike EYBL kids debuting the KD17 Sunrise, and their laces are cranked all the way, all the way. It is still a true to size fit, so you're not going to feel any heel slippage in this shoe. At least I didn't, unless you go up like a full size, which I'm not sure why you would do that, especially in a shoe that fits slightly long. But in my opinion, the lace pressure isn't the best, therefore the lockdown is not the best. It's not a deal breaker because you can still get buckets in this shoe. This is a top performer. I just said that. This is definitely a top performer, especially with the traction and the responsive cushion. The upper feels lightweight as well, which I'll talk about next. But the lace pressure and the lockdown is not, 100%. I would not give it a 10 at all because I'm not sure what it is, but this feels different than other hoop shoes that I've tested. It's not a complete red flag where I'm just like, oh guys, don't buy the KD17 because you don't feel locked down, right? It's something to think about for sure. I'm not sure if it's just an isolated issue. I hope it is for the sake of all of you. But at the same time, my personal experience, again, this is my personal review, my personal experience playing in these for a little over a week now. Yeah, the lace pressure is not the best. And frankly, it is different than the KD16 as well. So I'm not sure what it is. It might be due to this tongue, but it is what it is at this point. So that's my opinion on the lockdown. I would say it's, objectively my least favorite thing about the shoe. But I don't know, maybe I just need to tie the laces tighter. Materials are also a positive for me. It's not the most premium, but guys, this shoe feels lightweight, man. This shoe feels light, which I really enjoy. It's something that we can expect from KD shoes, right? They're very versatile, fit for all positions. KD can play, he can play like 1 through 5, man. He's got a point guard handle, scoring ability of a 2 through 4, basically, and is as tall as a 5. So he can do it. He can do it all on the court. And these shoes, man, these are actually pretty comfortable, pretty lightweight. The materials feel soft on my foot. I'm a wide footer as well, fit true to size. You can go in these. I guess crank down the laces, like I said, a little bit harder than I did. But with the traction and cushion, man, these are nice. The aesthetics of this shoe I definitely like better than the KD16. I wouldn't say these look better than the 15 because the 15s were just immaculate. I don't know. Those are definitely top 5 KDs looks-wise. These shoes are not as good looking as the 15, but definitely, in my opinion, better than the 16. And I think a lot of people are going to end up hooping in these and liking these just like the 16, guys. So despite what you might say about, these look like a Vapor Max or, I don't know what Nike is doing with their designs. At the end of the day, people are going to hoop in these, and these are going to be really popular. KD16, KD15s, even 14s, 13s, 12s, they were all very popular. And that's kind of the goal, right? At the end of the day, they want these shoes on people's feet, and you can't go wrong with wearing a pair of KDs. And at the end of the day, guys, the traction, the cushion, the fit is a little bit long, but also it's not a red flag. You can still play in the shoe. The heel to toe transition, the bounce isn't the best, but also it's not too bad. You cannot go wrong with hooping in these. This is a shoe that I actually really like, despite the lockdown and the slightly long fit. These shoes are good, man. These shoes are good, and the fact that it looks better than the 16 is just the cherry on top because I really like the 16, and now we get, somewhat of a wider foot friendly shoe made for Kevin Durant, and his name is attached to it. He gets great colorways, right? The Metro Boomin one is amazing, and we're gonna get even more, right? So I'm very excited for this shoe. So in conclusion, Nike did an amazing job with the 17s, especially aesthetically. The only 2 things I will call out though is the fit. It fits slightly long, not too long, but slightly long. So if you like very snug fits, then go down half size, although I don't necessarily recommend that. But if you are kind of a bigger guy with a slightly wider foot, or you need a little bit of room, these shoes are going to be money for you. The second thing is basically the lockdown. The laces, I don't feel too much pressure for them. I'm not sure if it's due to this very thick tongue or what have you, but that's just my personal experience. The positives for this shoe, man, the traction is crazy. Traction is very good. It squeaks really loud, grips really well. I never had to wipe, honestly, even on that dusty floor. I'll put a clip if I didn't already in the earlier in the video, but like this traction is great. I absolutely love it. The materials are lightweight. I really feel like this is a shoe that it fits a lot of people. Now even wide footers, I guess. Now even wide footers, right? I feel like there's a little bit more volume in the shoe for them, for those types of foot types. So I actually really like this shoe, guys. If it had that one-to-one fit that I liked, then this would be like a top tier shoe. But at the end of the day, guys, this shoe, you can't have everything, right? You can't have everything. So I absolutely like this shoe and I really do recommend it. Now, is it worth getting these over the 16s? I'm not sure, right? It really depends on your budget. Really depends on the pricing and the budget at the end of the day, because the actual performance is very similar to the point where it's like the only differentiating factor that is most impactful is price, right? I can't necessarily say that the traction is so much better to the point where you have to spend $100 more on the KD17, right? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you do need to consider price when you're looking at the 16 versus 17, because honestly, the 17 is not that big of an improvement over the 16. And the 16, you know, may lack a little bit in traction, right? But it's like $100 less. So you gotta think about those things in my personal opinion. But at the end of the day, guys, I want to hear your thoughts. These have been out for a little over a week now, and I know a lot of people got their pairs early as well, whether a store just released them on purpose or not on purpose, or it was my mistake, or they bought it from overseas. But I want to hear what you guys think about the KD17, because at the end of the day, my conclusion is that this is a very good shoe that I will continue to get. If I'm going to continue to get a shoe, it has to be good enough. So this has my stamp of approval. Even as a wide footer, if it's slightly long, but like there's more volume in the forefoot. 100% there's more volume compared to the 16. So my feet actually really like that, although it fits slightly long. So I wish they put more volume on the sides, but then they kind of kept the same length. So that's my performance review on the KD17, guys. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys think. Follow me on all socials at DG Hoops, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.